Now, the Supreme Court heard the arguments today. We expect a decision in the coming months, likely June. What happens if the court rules in favor of the state of Idaho and the folks arguing on behalf of the state?
I think it means Idaho healthcare just their safety net, their public health systems continue to weaken as it has today. We've already seen doctors leaving Idaho. We know it's hard for Idaho to hire and recruit doctors. For example, up in Sandpoint, which is a rural community in very northern Idaho, they've had to shut down their maternity care. And so patients are already having to drive 45 miles to Newport, Washington. Their maternity services have expanded significantly. And so it'll just be a continuation of what we've been seeing is where Washington is having to take care of Idaho patients. And it's incredibly sad for patients. Those who can travel, it's great that they have the resources to do it, but not everyone has that ability. And so I think it really is hard on patients who struggle, whether they're low income or just have transportation issues.
Or work schedules that don't allow them to travel or take time off from work. We see that from a lot of shift workers. As you talk about doctors, I'm wondering, because we hear this from doctors out of Texas, that they can't even talk about other options for patients who come in. That it's basically a gag order because of the state laws around abortion. Are doctors in Idaho able currently to counsel a patient who comes in and who is pregnant and looking for alternatives? What are they allowed to say, or is there an effective gag order on them in Idaho as well?
They're very cautious, and the Attorney General in Idaho has not been clear. And so out of an abundance of caution, doctors are telling us that they're just being really overly cautious, and they're referring patients to call into Washington to try to get the answers that they can need. And so that's why we have patient navigators who live in Washington, work in Washington, and they can answer those phone calls and direct people to the best care they can possibly have. So so in Washington, it's essentially muzzled doctors as well from counseling their patients on how to get the best care possible.